Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. Alrighty folks, so here we are on Sunday the 24th of September 2017 with a wrap-up of the week's new releases. And we're going to kickstart this week with DCS. DCS have this interesting. Okay, this is the first one. So the first one is the release of their SU-33 Flanker D. Now, this DCS have an interesting little bit of a habit of they've got the Flaming Cliffs 3 module, which is basically Flaming Cliffs 3 is the predecessor to DCS World, where the FC3 module has a whole stack of aircraft in it. But it seems that some people don't want to have a whole bunch of aircraft for the price of, for a very good price. Instead, they break it down into individual modules. So if you only particularly wanted the SU-33 and you didn't want the A-10A, the the A-10A, the F-15C, and something else with it as well, then you can just buy it on its own. Now, but having said that, guys, this is a re-release. So what they're doing is they have completely updated the flight model. They've updated a whole new stack of stuff with it as well, so improving the quality of the auto thrust control. They've updated the flight dynamics. They've updated the way the actual aircraft is modelled. Unfortunately, though, it still does not have an interactive cockpit, which is the biggest drawback of all of the FC3 aircraft, which is always a bit of a shame. I really wish that they would just hurry up and just, I think I would actually legitimately pay like a $10 upgrade fee if I could upgrade all my FC3 aircraft to clickable cockpits. I really would. Anyway, but yes, so long story short, if you are an existing owner of the SU-33 as part of the or as existing owner of the Flaming Cliffs 3 pack, or if you buy the Flaming Cliffs 3 pack, you will get access to the updated aircraft that has been released now as part of this one. This is fully compatible with DCS World version for 1.5. Now, at the moment, they've only released this standalone module for the non-Steam version of DCS. So yeah, it's the FC3 module is supported by the Steam version. As far as I can see, they haven't put an ETA date on if they were releasing this one on Steam, so it is not compatible with the Steam version at the moment. So yes, coming in at $15 or your regional equivalent if you do want it from the DCS World store, if you do want to pick up just this aircraft. But honestly, if you're going to pick this up, it's worth picking up the whole FC3 module, because they've now gone through and updated the flight dynamics of both the F-15 and the SU-33 and the SU-27 that's in it as well. So, you're getting some pretty good aircraft at a pretty good price. So personally, I'd say pick up the IFC3 pack. But anyway, I'll leave it up to you guys. So yeah, as I said, that one's available now from the DCS World. Available now in other DCS releases this week. Again, they're sort of doing this sort of odd sort of release stuff. So they've finally brought their Spitfire LF Mark 9 to the Steam edition. So this one has been available for the non-Steam edition now for about 6 months. I think it's 6 months, maybe even longer. But yeah, it is now finally available for the Steam, of those of us who play the Steam version of DCS. So this one's coming in available now. It's normally $50 US. I'm not going to go too much into the details, as I've covered off in a previous episode. But it is an extremely detailed, as we come to expect from the DCS aircraft modules. It's a very, very detailed version of the Spitfire. Available now from the Steam, on the Steam edition. Available now, normally $50 US. Currently 10% off launch special for $45 US. Now, just an interesting point out, for the long-time viewers of this show, you'll know that I have issues with the way DCS managed the Steam and non-Steam version of the game. I really do. I have massive issues with that. I've been doing some digging lately. Apparently, if you were a Steam Edition user in the early days, and you're like me, you're jack of the poor treatment of the Steam side customers. As long as anything you purchase prior to the release of the Raspberry Mirage 2000, you can actually your code, your Steam key is good for the non-Steam to retrieve it as a non-Steam version. Yeah, I must admit, it's one of those things I'm seriously considering switching over to the non-Steam version. and good to know I don't have to rebuy stuff. So yeah, just a word of caution if you're for those who just as the Steam version. I like it just because it's simple, easy to deploy. But the non-Steam version is definitely gets a lot more love and support from the developers, which can be a bit lacking at times. So yes, interesting decisions to make. So a couple of things for you to consider if you do want to consider switching over yourselves. Alrighty, moving in on to other flight simulation release news for the week this week. So we saw quite a few releases for the XPlane world this week. So first off, the first cab off the rank is from Icarus Simulations with the Valencia Airport. So this was one of the busiest single airport runways in Spain and indeed in Europe. Actually, it provides a lot of connecting flights from Spain to various airports about Europe and other destinations as well. As a very busy single runway airport. It's a very beautiful, picturesque area of the Spanish countryside as well. Now, this one is a sort of a co-production almost, what it is, where Latin Wing Simulations, who've done the FSX prepared version of this airport, they provided a lot of the base models and materials over to Icarus Simulations to actually make the XPlane version of this. So it's not quite a port; it's still a custom, designed XPlane 11 airport, but it is making use of resources from the other platforms, so which is kind of cool to know that developers are working together with, which is really cool. Now, this is fully compatible with XPlane 11, so it's XPlane 11 only, because it does use a lot of the HDR lighting and PBR sort of texturing features that are exclusive to XPlane 11. So it is only available for the XPlane 11 platform. But yeah, it's a beautiful combination of photoreal terrain, along with the custom 3D models for the airport, along with very beautiful HDR lighting for this airport as well, with both the high resolution day and night textures for this as well. Really cool, interesting the way they've done the glass facade of the airport as well. That's a really cool, interesting way they've done that. But yes, this one is available from the guys over at xaviation.com. So coming in at $23 US, or your original equivalent, available now. Alright, in another XPlane 11 exclusive release this week, so we saw the guys over at Aerosoft. So they brought out their airport Stuttgart for XPlane. So yeah, Stuttgart is a very busy German airport, used again by a lot of the more budget carriers. So in the international airport in the German state of Baden-Württemberg, and again is come to us from a very high quality team as well, with a lot of experience with XPlane and scenery development. So again, this is an XPlane 11 exclusive because it is making full advantage of the XPlane 11 exclusive lighting and PBR texturing features, including some of the beautiful 3D spilling, 3D light spill effects as well. Though they actually, it was one of the things I was a bit disappointed with another recent Aerosoft XPlane product, but this one seems to be from the screenshots I'm looking at is definitely not going to disappoint. Yeah, so it's fully compatible with the X-Life plugin by Jar Design as well. And the AutoGate plugin as well, which is a very popular one for this one as well, has been got a lot of custom aircraft for these, custom ground traffic, custom static aircraft, and fully compatible, as I said, with the X-Life to bring it to some AI traffic as well. Fully updated and overhauled with a lot of the XPlane 11 ground vehicle structures which have been brought in, as well as over thousands of hand-placed objects, to including cars and streetlights, to give this a beautiful looking airport and a stunning representation of it. Actually, it's also coming in very affordable as well. So coming in at around about 15 euros, so it's around about just shy of $20, coming in on this one, available now from Aerosoft, or available from your favourite flight sim retailer, available now. And rounding out the XPlane 11 releases for this week, we saw an entry from Paulo Ricardo with the mega airport Sao Paulo for XPlane 11. Now, Paulo normally works in the ESP platform range, so this is his first foray into XPlane 11, and he's come out with a fairly significant sort of release here. He's come out with it's basically the city and its airports. So he's come up with the full beautiful beautiful realization of the city of Sao Paulo, including a lot of the custom 3D buildings, custom auto-gen suitable for the area, fully authentic night lighting for the Santos Sao Paulo area, surrounding area as well, along with the three main airports, for Sao Paulo. So Conagas, Campo de Marte, and Culajos Combrica. So all three are actually fully included with this one as well, which is really cool. As I said, it's a pretty epic pack, this one. It does note that the Culajos and Conagas airports are the light versions of that, so they're up to date, but they're not hugely detailed. The main one he's focused on is the Campo de Marte is the detail. But yeah, it's got the full realization of all the stadiums that populate this city. Of course, as we know, football is very, very popular down there, as well as I said, custom auto-gen and custom houses and trees for the entire cityscape and city area as well. So, a really impressive thing, especially a very impressive and very ambitious project for someone to take on for their first foray into XPlane 11 World. So yes, this one is available over at Sim Market currently now, coming in at around about $20 or your regional equivalent, available now. Alrighty, moving out of the flight simulation world this week, moving onto ground level. So we saw the release of the much hyped release of Project Cars 2. So Project Cars was released sort of a couple of years ago, and sort of considered very much a groundbreaking in terms of the way racing simulators were done, and Project Cars 2 has been very, very hyped and very, very eagerly anticipated, especially because it is again by the Slightly Mad Studios team, who also brought us the Red Bull Air Race title as well. So yeah, they've got the graphical pedigree, but it's interesting reading it. It's some very mixed reviews about this one. There's the only concern I've got with this one is that it seems to be geared less towards the player and more towards esports, and they actually sort of almost pride themselves on saying that. How does that impact on your gameplay and your experience? Well, I guess time will tell. But yeah, it sort of has a lot of interesting sort of features here. They've got updated tire physics, updated AI, and updated control settings as well. And more customizable control settings as well. You've got over 170 licensed cars from actual manufacturers as well, which is, I know, one of the hardest things to do for a lot of these titles is actually getting the licensing to do it, along with fully licensed tracks as well as custom tracks as well. We've got new vehicle types and motorsport classes from the normal basic sort of street car and F1 sort of races. You now also have rallycross, IndyCar, and oval racing included with it as well. The other interesting thing about this one, and it's kind of cool, is that it does have a fully dynamic 24-hour day-night cycle and a full seasonal weather cycle as well. And you know, it's funny. I know the flight sim world goes nuts for raindrops and rain effects, and I'll tell you what. If the flight sim world can ever pull off rain effects like what I'm seeing in these trailer and preview shots for Project Cars 2, you will just have the ultimate simulator. Just throwing it out there, guys. Anyway, but yes, this one is available now. So available now either via Steam or also available for PlayStation and Xbox. Now you do have a couple of different versions that you can get for this one. So you can either pick it up the core game, which is just the Project Cars 2 coming in at $60, or you can come up with the deluxe edition, which at the moment, if you order the deluxe edition, you will get the season pass for the DLC. Now, exactly how much content is going to be included with that has not been confirmed as yet, but if you do order now, and I believe sometime within the next it looks like the next 2 weeks or so, you will get a bonus set of a further bonus including the motorsports pack, which includes a couple of exclusive vehicles, which I'm sure will probably end up being DLC later than another track anyway. But yes, I know I have mixed feelings about pre-ordering and pre-order bonuses and stuff. I have mixed feelings about it anyway, but yes, if you do want to experience Project Cars 2, it is coming in available, as I said, starting at $60, going out from there. Available now on multiple platforms. Available now. or sticking with racing simulation and was going to the Project Cars ones. It's a main competitor, which of course is Assetto Corsa. They've released their latest piece of DLC this week, so coming across their multi-platforms as well. So this is their Ferrari pack. So this is the Ferrari 70th anniversary celebration pack, which gives you 7 of their most iconic cars throughout the ages. So coming in with a 1962 250 GTO, 67 330 P4, a 1967 312 67, 1984 GTO, 2004 F 2004, and the 2017 812 Superfast and the SF70H concept cars. So quite the range of vehicles, everything from sort of flat out track cars through to hybrid racing concept cars. So really, really interesting sort of concept of like range of Ferrari history across on these vehicles. And as I said, the F1 cars just awesome. They just look amazing, they really do. Anyway, but yes, so this DLC is available now, coming in at $8 if you do want to expand your Assetto Corsa Ferrari experience. Available now. And finally, rounding out the simulation release news for this week, we have the guys an entry from the Train Simulation World. So another one of the Pro Series releases has come out this week. So this one has been the British Rail Class 419 MLV BEMU. So this is an interesting story reading about this one. So this was sort of like on the south coast and the south of the Kent coast region, where electrification was almost completed, but there were still parts which weren't, the tracks weren't always electrified. And they needed ways to sort of shunt trains and rolling stock around sort of onto the docks and the quays for final delivery and unloading and things like that at Dover and Folkestone. And they were not electrified because obviously, probably for safety reasons. I'm guessing probably something to do with the proximity to water. So these trains were actually designed and built to be able to recharge when they were on recharge internal batteries. So when they were on the electrified network, they could actually they would charge up the batteries, and then they could switch off the electrified network for periods of time and actually just run on their batteries. So yeah, it was a really interesting solution to a problem which potentially would have meant the continued use of diesel in these sometimes highly polluting environments. So yeah, a very interesting solution for that one. These trains would be introduced, as I said, in the 1960s, and would soldier on well into the 2000s as well. So a really, really fascinating history of this one. Now, you do get a very highly detailed, as I said, this is one of the pro range titles, this one. So fully realistic simulation of the throttle controls, camshaft equipment, along with the wound motor simulation, the realistic simulation as well of the 3 types of braking systems fitted to it. Like, seriously, how do you need 3 types of braking in a train? Like, I don't understand that. But anyway, you get a full simulation version of all 3 of them. Adhesion modules, including the wheels, slips and sides, the way the product loads and unloads as well, through scenario, to actually sort of give it so that you don't necessarily get the balanced weight and stuff, so which is kind of cool. A deadman device, deadman switch as well, operation is modeled with this one as well as statistical information and changeable head codes and a whole heap of other stuff as well. So looking pretty damn awesome. Does also include 3 scenarios, 3 career scenarios that do require the South London network route add-on to be purchased separately as well if you do wish to use that. Otherwise, it is still fully compatible with Steam Workshop scenarios and fully quick drive compatible, as well as taking as advantage the full in-depth simulation of the Pro Series. So this was coming in at $20, available now on Steam. Alright folks, that does wrap up the news for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.